Hi and welcome to episode 6 of the Kindness Project. I'm joined today by somebody who loves dad jokes more than her actual dad. It's Charlotte Dames!
I do not love dad jokes.
You love a dad joke.
So cheesy.
They are cheesy. Yeah.
And I am joined by a man who'd probably eat his weight in pigs in blankets for breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Big time! Big time.
Chris Dames.
Honestly, pigs in blankets. I'm confused about the fact that pigs in blankets are deemed a Christmas food. I mean, Charlotte, would you... if I was Prime Minister, I'd make a law saying pigs in blankets are just part of a Sunday roast. Do you know what I mean? If you're having a Sunday roast, you've got to have some pigs in blankets in there too.
Or an English breakfast, it's just a sausage wrapped in bacon.
It's not just a sausage wrapped in bacon, though. The art of the pig in blanket is when you wrap a sausage in bacon, it's... Have you ever heard that phrase?
Does that make me a mum artist?
One, like, sort of, when you put two things together, they make something like that. The whole is more than the sum of its parts.
Yeah.
That phrase was made for the pig in blanket. Because if you break it down, all it is bacon and sausage. But actually, you put those two things together, and it's a lot more than just bacon and sausage, right?
I suppose. You look so offended.
I can't believe.
No, I love pigs in blankets, but obviously...
you don't share my level of passion,
I don't
right?
share your level of passion. Honestly, I think the less you eat them, the more special they become. So if you eat them as just a Christmas food or like a special occasion food, then they are much more special. Okay,
so you wouldn't say that absence makes the heart grow fonder, no?
Probably what I'm saying.
So absence makes... You think absence makes the heart grow fonder?
Yeah.
And I think just let's have more pigs in blankets in our life. It's not as catchy as absence makes the heart grow fonder, but we could carry on this argument forever. So what are your thoughts on dad jokes? You're not a fan? Have I got that wrong?
I actually do love a dad joke, but not as much as I love my dad.
That is sick.
Because he makes so many.
I thought, you know what?
That they are a bit cheesy now, and I enjoy a good dad joke as much as the next.
I'm making
daughter.
too many at the minute, am I?
You've made too many my entire life.
True. However, I have got a new book of dad jokes that I got for Christmas. TJ got me it, so I might be rocking some dad jokes out in the podcast in future weeks. Should we have that? Is that a no? We're not doing that, no.
First, I thought you were going to enter the dad dancing competition when we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
And now you're going to start spewing dad jokes everywhere.
Well, I might do dad dancing while I do a dad joke. But before we get into the body of the podcast, let me make an apology.
About what?
Nicolas Cage.
Again?
So Nicolas Cage. Let me apologise personally for my. This podcast is meant to be about kindness, and I want to be kinder to you, Mr. Cage. You don't know me. I know you.
Not very well.
Not very well. And maybe you are a lovely man, and you probably are. And if you made better films, perhaps I'd like you more. But in the spirit of kindness, let me apologise and plead and beg with you just to make some better films, so I can fall in love with your work again. So hopefully that apology goes down well. That was like one of those half-hearted apologies where I've gone, I'm sorry you feel that way, Nicolas Cage, but you're rubbish. So, but I am genuinely, if we're making a podcast about happiness and kindness, I need to be generous to Nicolas Cage and maybe admire his work more as opposed to have a go at him. What do you reckon?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, cool. So, Twitter. Oh yeah, let's do the Twitter. Go on in, Charlotte.
Hola, kindness.
Right. So every week, we've just got to confirm that it's not hola kindness. It's hola kindness. HOLA.
HOLA.
I forgot our Twitter handle. Can you do it?
At HOLA kindness.
Thank you. And you can find us personally at
Charlotte J. Dames, DAEMSCHARLOTTE.
Why did you do that backwards? Dame Charlotte. And you can find me at Chris Dames, CHRIS DAEMS. I was once an interviewee on a podcast. I was being interviewed for a podcast. And I'd forgot my own Twitter handle. I mean, that's embarrassing when it's your name. I mean, I'm never going to do that again.
If it wasn't your name, like if your Twitter handle was something like, I don't know, your favourite actor 123, maybe you can forget it then.
Yeah.
But if it's your own name,
yeah, it wasn't a good day. It wasn't my finest hour. And I don't think that podcast has ever been published because it was so embarrassing. So I'm glad of that. So we were talking earlier on about what you'd do, what I'd do if I ruled the world. And I'd say make pigs in blankets a compulsory Sunday dinner. But here it comes. Question of the podcast.
My turn?
Oh, go on then.
Question of the podcast.
See, this week I preferred mine as opposed to yours. That's strange.
It's really jolly.
This is meant to be a happy experience.
I know it's supposed to be a happy experience, but can I not be serious for one moment?
You can. So, here's your question. If you ruled the world,
yes,
what one law would you change?
I wouldn't.
Oh, right, what's that?
I wouldn't rule the world.
No, theoretically, if you ruled the world, what one thing would you change?
Who the ruler was.
So your first and only rule is to sack yourself.
Yeah.
Who would you?
I don't know. I'll let that go to a vote.
See, the weird thing, there's loads of talk about at the minute about The Rock running for president.
Yes,
right?
I have heard that.
Now, I actually think we need less celebrity in politics, right?
Yeah.
So maybe moving from Donald Trump to The Rock might be.
I think Michelle Obama would make a good candidate.
You know what? I'd rate Michelle Obama as a candidate. I mean, there's one obvious choice for the next Prime Minister, and that's Cribbins. You know, let's get Bernard Cribbins into Parliament. What do you think?
Oh, but then everything would be acted out and in song, and maybe we don't want a scripted government.
Well, there's an argument to say we have already. Is that political satire? I didn't realise we were doing that on this podcast. So, listeners, I'm interested in your thoughts. Please, nobody say Nick Cage for American president. I'm going to ignore any emails, and you can email us at
holla at the.
You added the H there. Well done.
Wow. At the kindness project.com.
No, not .com. So the email address is holla, HOLA, at thekindnessproject.co.uk, and you can find our website at www.thekindnessproject.co.uk. And what we want from you is a number of things. Firstly, if you were the leader of the world, what one rule would you put in place?
And also answer the questions from previous.
Oh yeah, we've got questions from previous podcasts. Are most people generally good? What country is on the top of your most visited list? Really importantly, what's the best use of an egg? And if you could be any character from one of your favourite books, who would you choose? So feel free to email us, not only for this week's question of the podcast, but previous weeks as well. Yeah. We want to hear your answers, and we're going to be reading those out as they come in at the end of the show, because we're going to have a sort of listeners section at the end of the show.
Yeah, we also want your kindness stories for that section as well.
We do. So we want to hear your kindness stories. We want to hear of people we should speak to and interview who are beacons of kindness. So people who do kindness really well. So on that note, shall we get on with the show?
Yes, sir.